Boo! I'm totally here. I'm just, I hate the intros. I just can't get over it. I say it every time. I just hate it. It's so stupid. It says, get ready. And then it says, you are live. Unfortunately, it tapes a whole bunch of stuff before it says you are live. So usually it catches me sitting here going like this. Looking like a complete dork. Hi guys, I'm really glad you guys could join me tonight. And I came on totally 5 minutes early because I always give my big blurb. And I know there are some people that just like, and it's not many. It's like 2 out of 400 people that are like, get on with it. You know, we don't want to sit there and all you're doing is saying hi to people, blah, blah, blah. So I'm coming on 5 minutes early to do that, take care of it. So hello, Jamie. It is what it is. Raggedy Girl, Maud, Naomi. Bling it on, Pat. Sharon and Diana. Thank you guys for joining me early. I know there are more people coming. I typically, what am I going to say? I typically post my little reminder thing on a whole bunch of different channels, pages, but some nights I have time and I can get home early and other nights I just don't. So cheers. Thank you to those of you who made it. Okay, Jamie can only stay for 30 minutes because she has a meeting. That's just fine. We are all here on my channel. It's called Jen Evers. Very creative, I know. It's totally my name. But the creativeness comes in when you join the Quality Crafts family over here on Facebook. Quality Crafts. And we're the one that has like, oh gosh, I have to update this. We have way more than 540 members. We have like 600 and some members. And that's how you're going to tell the difference between us and the other Quality Crafts that comes up. That's some kind of a business, I think. We're a group, not a business. And no, Janet, nobody's late. I started early. I just wanted to give my little spiel so we could get going on time. We run live streams every Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So you're joining me now. Today is Thursday. And then every Sunday from 2 to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Now the Sunday streams are because we run a challenge over at Quality Crafts here from Sunday to Sunday. I'm just going to bring this in for you. So I try to post it on Saturday so you know what's coming up, and then on Sunday I do a live stream on purpose to show you the techniques. So in case you're new to it or you want some extra ideas or you just want to be inspired to start the challenge, that's what that is for. And then Thursday nights are just for fun, picking something to do, something interesting to look at and learn, and that type of thing. So that's what the 2 live streams are for. And then every Wednesday night, which I don't have on here, every Wednesday night I do a 5-minute card. Oh, Jennifer, you made it. Good. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Satomi. Hi, Janet. Yeah, Wednesdays are 5-minute card series. So that was last night. I hope you guys saw that one. We're on like the 17th one, I think, in a row, which I think it's probably the longest series I've ever really done. And it's just going so well. I'm going to continue it into the new year. I have no reason not to. But I do have some other ideas and things that I want to add in. And so if you want to be a part of deciding and giving your opinion on what I do on my channel and what happens here, I should move my hands. I'm sorry about that. Join us on Facebook at Quality Crafts here, so that when I put out a poll for that type of information, that your opinion and your voice is heard. Okay? To get into the Quality Crafts family page, you need to request to be entered. It's a closed group, and that is because we don't want people spamming or scamming you in any sort of way. We also have swaps that are going to be coming up. Kathy Dunahee does a lot of things on there. She runs all the swaps. I don't. If you have a swap related question, best you go to her. I can always try to help you out, as much as I can, but that's really her deal, and I couldn't run the page without her. So we are the two admin. I am going to be looking for another admin or two, and some changes are coming around the corner. So yay, it's going to be really cool. I'm hoping to add in some stuff that's going to be super fun, and I really am encouraging everyone to join in. However, that being said, our group over at Quality Crafts is commitment free, drama free, which means if there's drama, you probably won't know about it because I would have already taken care of it privately and quietly, and it would be gone. Number two is it's commitment free because life is chronic. I know that people have things going on, and sometimes you just can't commit. So when you want to enter a challenge, a certain week, you enter a challenge. When you don't want to, you don't have to. If you want to enter a swap, by all means, follow through with that swap, or let somebody know ahead of time before it's due so that we can angel it out. Okay? There is no participation police other than the swaps. If you are going to join a swap, you have to make sure that you finish out that swap because other people are waiting on you. Now, the challenges are different because all you're doing is taking what you've created from our theme or our tutorial that we've posted, and you're creating something and posting it to the group. So that's not affecting anybody if you choose not to join that. But there's no participation police as far as I'm not going to come after you if you haven't entered something within the last 3 or 4 months or the last quarter or whatever and boot you out of the group. It doesn't work that way. Non-commitment, non-drama. Total fun, total inspiration. Everyone's invited. Please, we really like you to come over. Sharon says, I don't craft anymore, but my hands are too bad. But I still enjoy watching. Thanks, Sharon. And Kathy said they were posted today, so I'm assuming she's talking about the swap. So come on over and see what she's getting at and what kind of swap she's posted, because it's sure to be fun. If my words and my mouth are my sound and my visual are not matching up, refresh, restart, or reboot your computer or your program. So today what we're going to do is I'm just going to be playing around with embossing folders. I know there's a bazillion, jillion, gajillion, zillion things out there that you can do with embossing folders, and I'm definitely not going to cover them all. We're probably only going to cover a couple, but that is what we're going to talk about today. I was hoping I could bring this bad boy way over here right to where you guys are to see if you can see the whole process, but I'm not sure how much it's going to fit. I tried it and it was really awkward. So maybe at times it'll be here, maybe at times I'll have to move it back. So for anybody new, we're just going to start out and grab one of these embossing folders. It's just a piece of plastic with one side, it's indented, and the other side is raised so that when you put it together, they fit together. So that anything that you put in the inside of it, which is namely paper, is what we mostly use, and then you send through here. Now I have the Cuttlebug, and there's a lot of different kinds of ways to emboss like this. And then when you run it through, it makes the impression that you see on the embossing folder right onto the paper. Okay, so that's a first run through just for people who are like, what's an embossing folder? What? I don't. So then you have two different kind of looks. So on this side, all of the lines look like they're protruding upward. Now if I flip it over, it looks slightly different. So depending on your idea or your taste or your project, you can get two different looks from an embossing folder. If it's totally bothering you that my mouth is and my reset, reboot, whatever, otherwise I can close the face camera if that's really an issue for everybody. Let me know if everybody's having that issue. I'll close the face camera and we'll just do what's here. You'll still be able to hear me, you just won't be able to see me. I believe if I'm not sure which microphone I'm using today. Anyway, another really fun thing to do with an embossing folder is to ink it up. And what I really want to try is this one, which looks similar to like grass. Now you can use it going up and down, or you can use it going vertically this way so it goes across the page, but it's a real natural kind of look. It says Cuttlebug Provocraft, and most of them don't come with a name on them. So since I've had a lot of these forever and a day, mine are not named and I can't tell you where to find them. I can only tell you that if you look up Cuttlebug Provocraft and type in some kind of grass, you might be able to find something like that. Well, what I want to do is, see, this is one of the things where I can't leave this here because I want to show you the other part. I'm going to move this over so you kind of know the logistics of how it goes through there. I want to take this folder right here. I'll bump you in just a tad. And I want to see how this turns out with two different colors of ink. And you can do this kind of inking technique you can do in all sorts of different ways. But I'm just going to show you this one that I think is going to be really interesting. I'm going to pick two colors that I think would go well together. I tend to really like blue and purple together. So those are the two that I'm going to do today. I'm using exclusive inks from Close to My Heart just because they're around and I have the colors. So their purple is called Hydrangea. If you look there, it's right here. And their blue is called Star Spangled Blue, just in case anyone was wondering what that was. Now, like I said before, one side is indented and one side is raised. The little grassy parts is raised on this side. And on this side, that's the part that recesses in. This is the larger side. So let's see, how do I want that to go? I guess it doesn't really matter. I could have picked green, but I wanted to have a different kind of a feel. It doesn't have to be natural just because it looks like grass. So I'm inking up my brayer all the way around by pushing and lifting up. Pushing and lifting up because you want it to go. If you just go back and forth like this, you're only going to get ink on one little portion of the brayer. If you push, lift up, and push and lift up, you're eventually going to get ink all the way around the brayer, and that way you can put that ink right onto that embossing folder by going this way. Now if I could go this way too, I just feel like this is probably the best route to get it all on there, going this way. And I'm not going to clean that off. I'm just going to go straight to blue. We'll get a funky mix between blue and purple, and I'm okay with that. You can totally clean everything in between. It doesn't really matter. And so this side, I'm putting the blue. If you use Stays-On ink, yes, of course, it's going to stain because Stays-On is meant to stay on everything. I'm using, what do they call these? These are dye-based inks, in case anyone was curious. So hopefully I didn't let that purple sit too long. I'm going to get two different looks from this because I've got one color on one side and one on the other. Okay, so here is the blue side. That looks really cool. And here's the purple side. So all the indents, it looks like I dragged something across the paper and indented it with purple. And on the other side, if I would have had a little bit more ink, because these are getting a little dry, I would have had a lot more blue in there. But you can see the blue settled around the lines. So now I've got two different types of ink, two different types of looks is what I'm saying, with the two different kinds of ink that I can use on a different project. You can use ink directly right on there and rub it on there. You can do that too. You don't need a brayer. Those of you who don't have a brayer, you don't have to run out and get one. Just take your ink, and when I say direct to paper or direct to something, just put it right on there, just like this. Much darker this way. Let's try that. Let's do another one this way, just because. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe mine off with a baby wipe. So if I do this straight down and push really hard, then I'm going to get a real deep purple too. So we'll do one more just like this. So now you can really see that purple. You can really see that blue. And that's the difference. Yep, distress inks. You can use sponges. You guys got all kinds of great ideas out there. I'm going to wipe this off so that we can move on. And while I've got a bunch of you here, and I believe you guys are my main group of viewers, my 5,000 subby giveaway has been put on hold because of the holidays and stuff, and just the way it fell just was really awkward for me, and I didn't have time to get that all put together. I am hoping to have that video put out this coming weekend. I'm wearing my ice skating frogs today. For those of you who are watching pajamas, ice skating frogs. You see that guy? He's upside down, but he's ice skating. I need a paper towel. I want to dry that up. I put things up too high for my own good. I'm only at like 4'11". Alright, so I'm just going to wipe this off. Baby wipe will do as long as you're using that type of ink. So if you get StazOn ink, I've not tried it on an embossing folder, but I imagine it'll work kind of similar. Mostly I'm talking about things like this, these blocks, these clear blocks that you put your stamps on. If you get StazOn black ink on here that you can't get off, use alcohol. Use some rubbing alcohol. If you don't have alcohol, use hand sanitizer, because that thing has a lot of alcohol in it, and that will do the trick. Same thing if you get if you put permanent marker on something, alcohol will take that off. Sometimes, depending on how porous the thing is that you use, you could sometimes use hand sanitizer to get marker off of things as well. I did the same thing at school the other day. Somebody had drawn all over a classroom poster with some markers, and all I did was take the hand sanitizer that was hanging on the wall and just rubbed it on the marker, and it came off the poster because it was laminated. I'm talking about like plastics, glass, things like that that are non-porous. I mean, it's not going to work on paper and stuff like that, obviously. Okay, so somebody else was talking about distress ink, so I want to try this one. Yeah, I'm going to put my color on this side. Let's do Broken China. All right, so that's kind of a blue. This is a pretty color. Pickled strawberry. And have all my glitters like totally in my way today. Otherwise I'd just be able to grab these. They used to be a lot easier to reach. And then let's do something like spiced marmalade. I think we'll stick with 3 colors for now. For this one, I'm going to do kind of a watercolor look. So I've got a little bottle of water here as well. So randomly, I'm just going to do ink straight on. No. I don't want this side. I want more of the color to show. So I'm going to switch this over to the other side. I'm just going to do this, like some color random in random spots. Of these 3 colors. Hopefully I left a little room for the orange. Geez Louise, Jen. Not very much. That's all right. That looks pretty good. And then if you've ever done the smoosh technique, can you guys see that? How color? There you go. Now you can really see it. So if I hold it up and I spray on there, I'm going to get puddles of water. You can see those dots where it's starting to puddle up there. This is going to give us more of a watercolor look and not a real straight on look. So I'm going to put the paper on this side so I can balance it over and squash that down and then put it through. Now just remember, if you're adding water and doing water techniques, because there are several other techniques you can do with that, make sure that you either that you have your trusty toilet paper or paper towel, because some of that water is going to get squeaked out the other side. You want to make sure you clean that off of your blocks and stuff, which is what I'm doing right now, so that you don't get that all over everything else. Because as you can see, down on the side here is where the water got squashed and it turned a little bit brown. But that's pretty. Let me just dry that edge off. Make sure you dry your folder itself off too. Get rid of that wetness. You don't want that sitting around. So that's really pretty. You know, it'd look even cooler because it's embossed is if I brayered over this with black so all the little lines turn black. I think that would be a really cool look too. Yeah, somebody was talking about my labels. Once you stack these or put them anywhere, you can't tell what color they are because all the colors are right on top. So as I stacked them, I just cut out little pieces of paper, inked it with the correct ink, and then just hand wrote labels on there. If I stop moving around, I won't make you so sick. So I don't know how many colors I have, too many probably. They're all marked like that. What other? Oh, and with the regular sized ones, I do that as well. So any of the bigger ones, same thing. Put a little swatch of the color on there. And that way, when they're all stacked up and I can't see the tops, I still know what color I'm getting. Oh my gosh, don't use crusty toilet paper. That's gross. Trusty. Oh my gosh, you guys. Ew. All right. Well, this toilet paper must really be flaky because I got toilet paper everywhere here. I really like the way that one turned out. Where's my other ones? So if you're just joining us, we're doing, what if you use watercolor and wet the paper instead of the folder? That would be fine too. It would give it a different look. And it gives it a different look depending on how much water you add too. So yeah, so let's say that we did this and we didn't add any water and we ran it through. Let's try it. So let's say we did that with no water. I mean, this would work with distress inks because they react to water. So if we put on some of this in different spots, we'll try this and see what happens. Whoops. Now, I don't think it's going to spread out as much, but that's my guess. But let's run it through and find out. So I've added the ink directly to the paper, not the folder. Here's the exact same folder, and we're going to run it through. Make sure that I'm putting it through the same way. Pretty sure it was this way. And then we'll spray it with water at the end and see what happens. Oh, I'm missing a line. That's not going to work. There we go. Was this a part of my sandwich? Oh my gosh, look at this. I mean, I know we're G-rated, but my whole chest is covered in toilet paper. Oh my word, I didn't put those in straight at all. Okay, so you see how it looks now? Now we're going to spray it with water. You ready, y'all? It's going to be cool. I am using all 110-pound white cardstock. Very, very rarely will you ever see me use watercolor paper because it's expensive and it's never really truly white, which kind of bugs me. I don't know why, it just bugs me. So now I'm adding water to reactivate those inks. It does not give you the watercolor look that the smoosh technique did when we ran it through the Cuttlebug. Do you see that? It's kind of staying where it's at. It's spreading out a little bit, but maybe we can get it to run a little bit. I don't know. But do you see the difference? So depending on what kind of, what do you want? Let's try taking one of these baby wet wipes and see if we can get that to move even more. Nope. It's really pretty much stayed where it is. I think I answered the paper question, but if I missed one, please let me know. Is this the one you want me? Aunt Beck, is this the one that you want me to go over in black when it dries? We could try that. Let's dry it a bit. So, okay, here's the catch, here's the rub, here's the point, here's the purpose, is that all of you are artists, right? Whether you're brand new and you didn't even know what an embossing folder was until tonight, or you're like me or beyond me, where you've done this your whole life and you're older than me and you've done it as old as I am. The thing is that if you don't play with this stuff, if you don't practice with this stuff, you'll never know what it does. So I can show you the tip of the iceberg. I can lead you to water, but I can't force you to drink. You get what I'm saying? So the whole point of my video is to say, hey, look at this cool stuff. Now you get out all of your stuff and start creating. and share it with other people, because that's the joy of it. And if you're good at something, like, okay, I'm not the best at shabby chic. It's not because I can't be, it's because I choose not to practice it. But that is why everyone has a God-given talent, because if we were all given the same God-given talents, the world would be a boring place. So use them, share them, inspire with them, and be giving with them. Don't keep them to yourself. We were made to help each other and to love one another. And that's why at the bottom of a lot of my videos, you'll see encourage everyone always. Always believe there's a positive intention in every person. There are people that walk around that are not very nice, but always try to consider the positive. So let's roll some black over this, shall we? I'm going to use my VersaFine ink for this. Onyx Black VersaFine ink. I can say that now because I own it. I didn't have any of this before. Holy man, look at the ink coverage on there. This is some good ink. But since my paper's a little bit crumpled up here, I'm hoping that we don't get a total big blotcho of black ink, because that would stink. But you know, whatever will be, will be. Let's just check it out. I'm not going to smash, because I don't want to smash that embossing down, okay? I'm just going to go over it lightly. And then I'm going to go over it the other way. And you can do that as little or as much as you want. And check out the look we get with that. How cool is that? See, now I like this way much better with the black on top, don't you? That's pretty. So now I've really got a lot of black on there. I'm going to see if I can get that off. Look at that cool imprint that left behind. It almost looks like snakeskin over here. I should have done it in brown. I'm just trying to get most of the ink off of here because I don't want all of that to have to come off on the baby wipe. Unless it just makes a big mess. So now I'm going to take the baby wipe to it. And probably later on, I'll have to remove this from its base and really scrub it down with some mild soap. And in case you guys are new or you haven't seen me do this before, these come apart. Do you see that? They're made to come apart so that you can get those really clean in your sink. So you're not struggling with trying to get every inch of that clean. So hopefully we're not going to be using the brayer a real lot after this, since I'm sure a lot of that black's going to come back off. Especially if we were to choose a nice light yellow. I'm just going to move that out of the way. Okay. Where are we at for time? We got about a half an hour left. And I got a bunch of sheets here left too. I thought it would be really fun. And another really fun thing to do, and I don't know if I'm going to, we got plenty of time though. I have so many embossing folders, it's just crazy. So let's just pick a couple of different flavors. Here's like a flowery one. This one looks kind of like bricks or rocks. You see that one? It's called Brick Wall. And then I actually wrote the name on that one, if you can believe it. This one has buttons on it. I'm just going to pick a bunch of them. We're going to make a card out of it. And this one is really cool too. This one literally looks like a brick wall, if you ask me, because it's got all the dots and textures to it. But what's really cool is when you do like a white, I'm going to do one of each one of these, but I'm going to take a piece, like a card front, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'm going to cut this in quarters so that I only get 1/4 of each one of these. You'll see what I mean in just a sec. Oh, for those of you that are not good at math like me on the fly, if you just fold your paper in half and make a crease here, that's where the half point is. If you ever have an odd piece of paper and you want to know the half point, just make a crease like that, then you know where to cut. It's faster because sometimes I just can't think that clearly on the fly. One of the really cool things about live streaming is that you guys you have some say in what happens and things that I choose. Maybe not 100% because, you know, I have to run it in a certain way to get things done. But I know a lot of people, they don't like to watch the live streams because they get really long. But it's the participation part that people come for. That's my opinion. But talk amongst yourselves. What's your favorite part about live stream? And why would you rather come to a live stream than a regular video? Because right now, as far as I can tell, my viewers are enjoying the live streams much more so than the regular videos I used to put out. But it might be wrong, but I'd like to hear what you have to say about it. Because believe it or not, you guys are my base audience. You guys are the ones that show up the most. And I really value your opinion. So I'm just doing, you know, a little quarter sheet from each one. And then we're going to put that together on a card. Oh, darn, I got that toilet paper just stuck all over my shirt. Pardon me. I'm totally going to have dinner after this. So if you guys want to just throw up a bunch of, you know, dinner ideas too, I'd be all open for that. I just wasn't hungry when I came home today, so I didn't eat. I want to make a card base, but I think I'm going to, since these are white, I think I'm going to pick a card base that's not white, like maybe a brown. What you call this? Not craft cardstock, right? See, I got so much stuff in here I can't even get to my cutter properly. I'm going to make this a little bit wider because I didn't cut down that quarter. So I'm going to make this at, instead of 4 1/4, I'm going to make it at 5 1/2. I'm sorry, 4 1/2. Instead of 4 1/4, I'm going to make it 4 1/2. But I can't change the other side. It's just going to be an odd shaped card. I want to show you what I'm talking about, what I mean here. Pizza! We always have pizza on Fridays here. Did I just do this the same one twice? I did, didn't I? I'm a silly goose. I am going to recut one so I can get one of those flowery hoo-has that I got. Pizza Friday at Jen's house. Oh my gosh, bacon wrapped stuffed jalapenos. You had me at bacon wrapped until I hit the jalapenos. I can't do jalapenos. I'm sorry, I can't do hot stuff. Right, Satomi. She says, because we get to help you choosing stuff, it's more of a card that we made together. And the chatting, the people here, it feels like a home of crafters. And that's exactly the point. I'm glad you shared that. That's really cool. So now I've got 4 different ones. And because I made this a little bit bigger, nope, see, I'm going to have to cut off a little bit anyway. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all 4 of these together and just use my scissors and cut off an end. Mac and cheese. I love mac and cheese. Oh my gosh. Zesto's Wing Snack Dinner. I have never heard of that. Hamburgers and brown rice. Yum. Stuffed hot drizzle with raspberry jam takes the heat out. Really? I don't know, that all sounds really interesting to me. Chili, I do like making chili. I like to cheat and use the chili packets. What do you guys use? So now I'm going to have just a little bit of a brown border in between all of these, which is exactly what I was going for. Okay. So you can get all kinds of looks on cards just by using the white background. And then, of course, you can color them any way in which we already did. But I want to mix together one of my absolute favorite techniques ever in the whole world. And that is, and I want to make sure that it's big enough to cover this whole darn thing, this one. And that's the smooshing technique. And all you need are just some markers, water-based markers. Dollar Tree Crayolas will work. I never used to like cream cheese. I don't know what happened to me. Overnight I was like, yeah, cream cheese everything. Bring it on. This one I want to be red. Or mostly red, you know, because it's brick. And I'm not exactly sure how this is going to turn out, but I thought it would be really fun to try. I really want a black marker, but I don't have one. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, because I have my trusty Crayolas. Never underestimate the value of a 99-cent pack of Crayola. Oh, whoever watched, now I'm gonna ding, 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 ding. Do you see me? Ding, 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 the black, because, you know, the black puts a little bit of funky something else into it. And then I'm gonna squirt it until it gets real watery. Do you see that? Wow, that looks like blood. And then I'm going to smash it on here. This may or may not squish in between the lines. I don't know. Let's just try it out. It's going to be really fun. Smoosh it down on there and see what we get. Can you see that? Probably not. Let me bring you in. I can't really. Yeah, I can scoot it. Oh, don't get everything wet. Look at that. Do you see that under there? Look at that. That's cool. Okay, I need a paper towel. No, I don't. I need this ratty piece of toilet paper that flecked all over my space. Dirty rat. Alright, this one has a lot of raised edges, so this one's going to pick up a lot of color. And it's kind of like a, what do you call it? Like blocks. It says it's brick, but when I see it, I don't see brick. I want brown in here, so I'm going to use my Crayolas and get brown. And then I'm going to add a little bit of black too. Do you see what happened when I added black to that red? It just kind of all ran into itself. And I don't know, it just looks really cool. Okay, so this one I want to be like mostly brown. Oh geez, my 99-cent Crayolas are getting dried up. I've had them a long time. And then I'm just going to add a couple stripes of black. I'm hoping that'll mix in. You see kind of how I did that? Just some brown with some black lines in it. I'm not sure how that's going to turn out. I maybe should have flecked it, but I'm going to add extra water so that that really goes together. Do you see that all just running together? Let's see what we get for that. Okay, make sure I'm in screen here so you can see the whole thing. Sploosh. Oh, the black almost turned like kind of a blue. That's cool. You see? Probably not so well. I'm just going to drag it around so that some of the color gets on the edges where I kind of missed. And then dry it off quick because I think I left it on there too long and the water just went into the whole thing. You see that? I have an idea. For that. It looks cool. I like the color, but I lost the definition, which I'm disappointed about. So what I want to do is, I want to brayer like a brown over that, but I don't want to have to take the time to get a brayer. What I want to do is use like a brown ink. Where's my closest brown ink? That'd be these two. These are more close to my heart inks. And this one is called Cocoa. You look on the edge, you can see they're called Cocoa. And then I'm going to just rub this on top. Ooh. Now I got a grungy looking brown. I kind of like the look of that. I'm going to leave that. That's cool looking. That's my trusty piece of felt that I keep in a lot of inks that I use a lot. I don't know if you guys noticed the other day when I was using one of these that I finally got for Christmas. I'm so used to using the felt that this was completely awkward for me. I'm going to really have to play with this to get any real use out of them because I don't have the feel for them yet. And I need to get a lot more. I need to get a lot more of them. So now we've got this one, and I'm thinking blue. I don't know why. I don't want as much water though, because if I add a lot of water to this one, it's going to totally muddy up again, and we have a real delicate look to this one. Oh, Aunt Beck, I missed your moss color. Do you want me to do moss color on this one? I know you probably meant the rock one, but I already did it brown. Shoot, sorry about that. I was not watching, was not paying attention. I'm going to do what? This is one I never use. This one's called Prussian Blue. I don't know if a lot of people have these anymore. These are, I think they're called Marvy. I have it covered up because each one, what I did was, if you don't have a lot of inks, this ink pad, if you do first generation, second generation, third generation, you'll get 3 different colors of blue, and I want that dark blue. So when you pull the thing off, it's a raised pad. See that? These are Yukaita. But I don't want to spray with water because I want the blue to stay on the top. So I'm going to try to do straight on here and see what we get. So now I can really see all of the texture on that one. And I do have a inker, or a, what do you call her in here? A piece of felt, and I want to ink the edges as well. So I'm just going to put some ink on there, and I'm going to ink the edges around it. Now I know I called this video fun with embossing powders or embossing folders, but there's just so many other things that you can use once you've embossed it that I didn't want to leave out everything. But now when I put that on there, you can see the outline of that blue really well and that brown as well. That's so cool. Last thing that we have is, let me get this all put together. We got 15 minutes left. I'm not talking about this is the end, but the last thing for this card would be the buttons. Now, do you guys have any suggestions on how you want those buttons done? Because what I was thinking is that sometimes when you have embossing folders like this, you can literally take markers and color right on the top. Like we can make all those buttons, all these different colors if we want. So Jody is reminding us that every Thursday we do a giveaway. Somebody will win a prize. So everyone that is here in the chat to please comment hi. so that we can count, so that you can be counted for the giveaway. I think yellow is a good idea. I was thinking maybe this one's, what is it? This one's Summer Sun. Oops, I'm sorry, I'm like way off here. Summer Sun. Well, come on, finicky guy. Well, you know what it is anyway. I'm just wasting time anyway because I'm looking at all the highs. Hi, 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 hi. I'm going to use the brush end of this and we're going to make some of these yellow. And if I see anyone else say different colors, then we'll do different colors too. So I'm literally going to be real careful to stay right on the top of that embossing. No, this kind of takes a steady hand, so I imagine those of us who have arthritis or have some kind of a shaking, this would not be the easiest one. You might want to try one of the other ones. I'm just mentioning that because I know everyone is differently abled. You just never know. I saw someone say different colors, but I didn't see what color, so I'm going to go with this one that looks like purple, but it's called Marvelous Magenta. I really honestly thought it was purple, but it's not. It's so dark though, it really does look purple, I think. Oh my gosh, I'm totally out of frame. Why didn't you yell at me? I wouldn't hear you anyway, but you're welcome to yell at me. What I would really love is for some person who really wanted to watch every live stream and have the time to be hooked up to me via a microphone. Gosh, that would be cool. There's supposed to be a way that I can add a panel of people too, but I haven't figured that out yet. I need time to figure that out. Uh-oh. Somebody was telling a horror story. We all want to hear it. I bought a new webcam for filming for YouTube. It was still in the bag on the table. Somehow, while doing some major house cleaning, oh no. I accidentally tossed the bag with the webcam into the garbage, brought it to the dumpster, and the dumpster got emptied out an hour or so later. Oh, honey. That sucks. Oh my gosh, you're going to think I'm a total dunce, but it is what it is. What's your first name again? And why can't I remember these things? I'm getting old. That's all I can say. I would have been devastated too. Aww. I so feel for you. That totally sucks. I'm doing this one green. Okay, the buttons idea was not my favorite. But at least you kind of get to see that. Yeah, I should have done a lighter green. But anyway, life moves on. Let's just add a few other colors here so we can finish this off. Oh my gosh, I thought this one was red. It looks brown. What is this? Do I just not see? Oh, yeah, it says Red Riding Hood. Well, actually, it says Riding Hood Red. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What color am I missing? Oh, yeah, the blue one. It's Shannon. It's Shannon. God darn it, Shannon. I'm sorry, Shannon. Oh, what's wrong with me? Oh, my phone's going off. Okay. I forgot what I was saying completely 100%. Somebody want to remind me? Oh, I'm glad you can't see that real close. Oops. Holler at me when I'm out of focus. Oh, so anyway, speaking of cameras and all that good stuff, I've started a campaign of donators, a donation nation, if you will. That's what I'm calling it right now. It's the Quality Family Donation Nation Club. And basically, you donate anything from $1 and up each month. And each month that you donate, you'll be in on a club-only group where I either do a live stream or videos or special things just for you that, you know, the whole rest of the audiences don't get to see. And as with any idea, it's still forming and it's still taking shape. And I'm hoping to have a lot more information on that as that comes out. But that, for right now, that's, I have a start of it where you can join. There's a, what do you call it? Like a little poster that I made that's flying around on Quality Crafts for now, because that's not something that I can go to other groups and post. That would be rude, and I really try to respect other people and the rules and basically moral and ethics. But if you've got places that you want to share that because you really like my content, you can feel free to share it as well. And I want to thank you personally to everyone who has joined. I will be getting in touch with you. But vacation is over. This one is Mellow Moss. Vacation for me for Christmas, you know, and all that jazz is over, and I'm back to working full time. So getting all this stuff started and completed while maintaining my schedule here and doing all the live streams and stuff, it may take some time. So try to be patient with me. I will put something out for those who donated in December. You'll get tossed in with January since I didn't get that started soon enough. So I will definitely be putting something out for you guys and be starting that group, or however I'm going to set that up. I'm getting to it. I apologize if I sound wishy-washy, but I am a creative person. I am not a businesswoman. But what I lack in knowledge, I make up for spirit, and I really am trying my best to get there. Because I don't think it's any hidden agenda at this point that I really want to turn this into a full-time job. I want to be a full-time YouTuber, and the only way I can do that is if I can find a way to be supported, because I sell the ATG tape, so if anyone needs ATG tape, let me know. But I'm not by trade a seller. But we have some fun things that are coming up that are going to be really interesting going on in the Quality Crafts group, so you're going to want to join that if you're not there yet. Oh my, we only have 7 minutes left. Just enough to finish up this card. This one's not my favorite, but it's kind of cool, and if I put it on another card with some real buttons, I think that would look really neat. But I'm going to stick with my original idea. I'm just going to glue these all down on here. I'm going to use ATG tape, actually. If you want to talk to me, when I'm done with a live stream, I'm usually taking care of business and just getting things done and talking to people and whatnot. You feel free to PM me. Someone asked me to PM you. I'm sorry, but I don't have time to write down your name. I'm going to totally forget who asked me to do that. You PM me, and then I'll talk to you about it. I hope that works for you, but because that's just, I guess, a reality out of convenience sake. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. I'm a little out of frame. I am. Let me back up. What am I thinking? I'm thinking I want to get this card done for you. Otherwise, I feel bad. Yeah. I'm just putting some HEG tape on the back of these guys. And then we're just going to stick them all down on that card. And guess what? If you get picked to be the winner tonight, you just might get this card. So I got to have something, right? And you know, a few of those other embossing things too. I got to make sure that I know what my spacing is going to be. And all I'm doing is just putting these together to see how much give I have. That looks good enough. And these were not cut exact, but handmade cards are never perfect because they're handmade cards. So now we've got one. Hey, hallelujah, I didn't do it upside down. Now we've got 4 really fun ones on there. That's really cool. Who was the winner from last week? Let me look it up. Live stream winners. So the last time we picked a winner, actually the very last time we picked a winner was, I should really put on here what the days are. The last Thursday, 12/29, let me go back. Yes, the last actual Thursday winner was Christy Essen. The last actual winner, because we did a giveaway on the Happy New Year crafty style video, which if you didn't come to that was really fun. And we literally went for 3 hours from 9 p.m. till midnight and rang in the new year. That was Paula Land. Yay, Paula! And so the last video that we did was a Z-Fold ATC card that was on a Sunday. And then now today is January 5th. I'm going to just put this right in while we're doing this. 2017. And we're doing embossing folders, and so somebody will be picked for this one. What's the highest number we've gotten for viewers? And I'll fill that in as well tonight. Was it 50? What was it? 50 what? 50? I can't remember. 50 something. Well, I got 58 right now. 59. Maybe it was 61. Was it 62? I can't remember. But let's do a review like we usually do at the end. So there's so much more. I could go crazy on this topic that I feel kind of bad we didn't get to a lot of them. But here's what a regular embossing looks like. We did a couple here where we used a brayer and we did straight to paper. And we did a different color on each side. So you could either cut these up or you could use each side separately. It doesn't really matter. Thanks, Night Angel. High was 64, she said she saw. Okay, and then we did this one, which was basically a watercolor technique, where we smooshed it on the folder itself, sprayed the water on the folder itself, and then ran it through. And then you guys had the idea of doing that without putting the water in. We did the Tim Holtz Direct straight to paper, ran it through the Cuttlebug, and then sprayed it. And then we went over it with black ink with a brayer just over the top to hit the highlight of those lines. Okay, good night, Sherry. Yeah, go feed those kids. It's like 7 o'clock my time. Okay, and then we finished off with this card using four different kinds, and then a couple of smooshing techniques and a coloring technique. And gosh, I mean, we could have gotten out embossing powders. We could have gotten out shims, what do you call those? The ones where you put them on and then you run it through like a circle, like something like this. and you run it through, and then everything gets embossed except for the center. I can't remember what those are called. I don't own any, otherwise I would have totally shown you that one. But those are neat because then you can stamp in the flat part, and that's really fun. So there's just so much you can do with embossing folders, and it goes on and on and on. I'm glad that you joined me here today. I hope you enjoyed yourself. And if you did, go ahead and share this video. And if you enjoy my content, I would greatly appreciate you giving me some thumbs up and some love. That would be awesome. I always enjoy the comments afterwards because sometimes people just can't make it for the live stream. And what else are we missing? I'm just going to catch up real quick on here. 7 o'clock my time. So the next time I will see you, today is Thursday, will be Sunday for the live stream when I introduce what the next challenge is for the following week. So if you want to catch up on this past week, go join Quality Crafts, or if you're already there, check out what the challenge is to jump in before it ends on Sunday. I will see you on Sunday. I'll tell you what our next challenge is. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself, and I can't wait to see you guys next video. Bye-bye.